Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I thought today I would do a little get ready with me. I'm doing a makeup look that I've been kind of doing a lot recently this winter. Actually kind of ties into a recommendation that I received in my comments to do kind of like a rosy flushed winter makeup look. And it's very much that like cold girl flush. It's more of like a little get ready with me, but sharing the products and everything that I'm using. So I've already done my skincare routine, but I do go in with like, I guess, a few different base products that really hydrate and add glow to my skin. The first one is the Bobbi Brown. This is the vitamin enriched face base, and this is just the mini size. I wanted to give this a tester before I kind of splurged on the bigger size because it's kind of like a moisturizer, and I thought maybe I don't need this, but I use this as a face primer and I will apply this on top of like my sunscreen. It has a little bit of like a citrusy scent to it, but I actually don't mind it. I find this really just helps plump up my skin and kind of minimize those fine lines where your foundation and makeup products can set into. I've also been loving and using my Somerset Moss facial balm as like a lip moisturizer, especially as I'm doing my face makeup. It just kind of primes and softens and moisturizes the lips before I go in with any lip products. And then I've been loving this is the, I always forget the name, Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow. And this is their like lightest shade, I guess. They have a peachier and I think more of a coppery bronze one. And it's a super lightweight serum-y consistency. It's much lighter than the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Glow Filter. And I'm just gonna apply that all over my skin. And especially in the wintertime when I'm super dry and I want to have like a really nice looking complexion. It's all about layering those hydrating products. I love that this is both hydrating and adds that glow to your skin. So it makes it look super healthy. It's just like the perfect base for the rest of your makeup. I've actually been wearing foundation lately just because I find that it's been giving my skin a really like beautiful flawless look, and this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Perfect Glow Flawless Filter Foundation. This is in the shade 1.5. I probably do like one pump to start off with, and then if I want to layer more, I'll layer more. Take my Hourglass foundation brush and just kind of blot that all over my face. And then I'll just buff that in. And I'll just take my time blending it all out just so it looks really seamless. And I don't want it to look too heavy, cakey. So sometimes I'll go in with a second layer, and then sometimes I'll just go in with my concealer to even out some of like the darkness under my eyes or any blemishes I might have. I'm gonna apply the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer under my eyes. This is in the shade 3.75, which is the perfect kind of lightly lighter than my skin tone under eye shade, just to help kind of brighten. And then I have my NARS, this is the Soft Matte Concealer in Affogato. I'm just gonna like dip the tip there and just kind of blot it right over where I have some hyperpigmentation. I had like the occasional breakout, and my skin is just super susceptible to getting a little pigmented, so I just like to cover that up, and it takes a while to go away, like a few weeks, which sucks, but I just use those exfoliating acids to help resurface and even out the skin tone. Vitamin C is really good as well, so just be patient. It will take a little bit of time, but you can always use a little bit of concealer just to spot conceal, minimize that pigmentation. And I just use pretty much the same brush for my makeup application, or like majority of the products I use on my face. It just makes the routine super quick, easy, simple, and I find that it really does like melt all of the makeup seamlessly together. So if you wanted to, you could definitely go in with like more concealer, more foundation if you wanted a little bit of a more flawless base. I don't mind a little bit of my natural like skin imperfections peeking through because I find it looks like I'm not really wearing that much makeup. Again, Westman Atelier Contour Stick in Biscuit. I will just go around the perimeter of my forehead, sculpt out those cheekbones. It doesn't really matter what my makeup routine is. I'm kind of like, without a doubt, applying this product in the same or similar manner. Sometimes I'll do my jawline, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll do my nose and eyes, but I almost will always do at least the contours of my jawline and my forehead. And then I'll just take like a buffer style brush and just buff it out in the direction, like upwards usually. Upwards and outwards. And this really blends and melts into the skin, so it looks really seamless, and it adds like a little bit of bronze too. And then for the eyelids, I'll just like sweep it up and outwards to my temple. I'm not really like reshaping my nose, so I don't really pay too much attention to how I do it. I just find it adds a little bit of bronze to the center of my face. I'll do both like stippling and swiping motions along my jawline, not my jawline, my cheekbones. And I do little like strokes up. I don't want to drag the contour down because I want to get that lifted look, and then I'll take it and sweep it back just to make it really seamless and blended. So there is our contour. Next we are going to do blush, and this is where it all comes together. This is how we're going to get our very kind of like rosy flush. This is the Westman Atelier Poppette blush, pigmented, so I will avoid going directly on my face. So I'll just take like a brush and I'll kind of just like stipple it onto the tip of my brush, and then tap that, stipple it, sweep it, kind of whatever I'm feeling, onto my cheekbones. And I kind of just hover right above the contour line. The trick here is less is more, and then just build up, because it's a lot harder to take away such a pigmented blush than it is to add little by little. So you're already starting to see kind of that really nice rosy, healthy flush. This is literally what I look like when I walk back from Pilates, because I'm out in the cold for like 15-20 minutes. You could also use like more of like a ready tomato kind of colored blush that also gives a really natural flush, and apparently that's what is used on the runway models on Victoria's Secret fashion show to give that really healthy glow. But I like this pink. You can pop some remainder on the tip of your nose to really give that rosy effect. You could sweep a little bit on your temples. Again, I mean like a very small amount. I mean, if you really, really like blush, of course you can overdo it. And it's looking really rosy. You can bring it up a little bit here, and I find that looks really cute. And then I want to set my under eyes. I'm using the Givenchy Prisme Feuille Voile Rosé powder, which I have heard has been reformulated to have like a very shimmery highlight effect, which is really sad. I hope that they take customer feedback and reformulate it the way that this one is, because we don't want highlighter under our eye. That's what highlight is for. So I'm just going to dab that under the eye and then over the eyelid, because I don't want any creasing on my eyelid. And I'm just keeping it to kind of like a triangle like that. I don't want to layer it too much over the blush, but keeping it in this little triangle is going to help really brighten and set the under eye. I like layering on some powder blushes on top of these cream blushes just to help set it and add a little bit more pigment. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier blush color infusion in the shade Ginger. And this isn't really like a rosy blush per se, it's actually quite neutral. I'm just gonna like really lightly layer that on top. And it kind of enhances that like natural rosy color and adds like a little bit of warmth. and like kind of subtle bronze to the face. And I love this brush. This is by Kevin Aquan. It's the Neo powder brush, and it's like a stippling brush, but I don't know if you can tell, it's like kind of curved, and it just like cups around your cheeks. I'm going to add some glow and hydration to the face with the Chanel Le Balm, and I just take my brush that I use for the blush, and I'm just going to stipple that right on the high points of the cheekbones. And this doesn't have like a lot of shimmer to it, but it does give a lot of like dew and radiance and glow, especially if you don't like a super matte look, but you don't want to be tacky everywhere. So you can see how it's just like added radiance, but my face isn't gonna feel like tacky all over. I'm gonna do brows with the Hourglass. This is the like very micro pencil brow pencil. This is in soft brunette, and I'm just going to add a little bit of oomph to my brows because I want some shaping. I'm actually thinking about getting a brow lamination. I've gotten a brow lamination before, actually before my wedding, and I liked it a lot. It was kind of pricey. It's like over $100. I got it at the Benefit Brow Bar. If you are in Toronto and you have any recommendations, let me know. I also kind of want to get a lash lift and tint again. I did that before I went to London over a year ago now, and it was the scariest, most uncomfortable feeling ever. Like, it really kind of felt like there was chemicals leaking into my eyelids, like, or into my eyes, even though my eyes were closed. And I absolutely hated that. And even though I loved the results, I was actually quite frightened that like something bad was happening, and they assured me that it wasn't, but I don't know, I wasn't too sure about that. Brows are done. Recently have been using the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the shade Cocoa, and I take a brush. This is the Refer number 2 brush, 02. And I just like close my eyelid and smudge it as tightly and closely to the outer portion of my eyelid. Just like swipe back and forth. Once you put on your mascara, it will help like make your lashes look fuller. And I'm gonna use this Lancome Hypnose mascara. This is just a black shade. I'm feeling like I might want to add a little bit more blush to really emphasize that this is a blush heavy look. And the great thing about these Westman Atelier blushes is that they even layer well on top of your powder products if you've already kind of layered. I think the key is to use more of a stippling motion rather than a sweeping, so you don't disrupt the product underneath. I think that's good for our blush. I've been loving the Farrah Hamidi makeup products. This is the lip liner in the shade Dew. This is probably the closest lip pencil I found to my natural lip color, which is this right here. And it makes lining and overlining my lips really easy. So like, it is a very close match. It's like obviously got a little bit more color. And honestly, sometimes I'll just apply this in like a really hydrating lip gloss or lip balm. I'm gonna be applying this YSL. This is a Love Shine. I think it's like rosewood or something like that. I will leave it in the description so you're aware, but it looks like that. And I love the Love Shine balms because they give you color but are super moisturizing and hydrating. In the winter, especially when I feel like my skin's really dry and my makeup might look maybe a little bit more matte, I'll go in with my Caudalie Beauty Elixir. You can use this like during your skincare routine. You can use it post makeup, any time of the day. It's a super fine mist. It has a wonderful scent to it. It's a little bit of aromatherapy for me. And it just adds like a little touch of glow or hydration back into your skin if you feel like it's lacking. Here is my Rosy Cheek makeup look. Very simple, really focusing on the blush as the highlight kind of feature of the face and keeping the lips really neutral, the eyes really neutral. Everything is just like more complexion focused. I really like the way that this looks. I'm a big lover of blush, so this is a really fun kind of makeup look to play with. I love playing around with different blushes, layering them, and increasing the intensity or making it more subtle just depending on how I feel. But I hope you enjoyed this little get ready with me makeup tutorial. I will have all the products linked in the description box as per usual. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any other recommendations, let me know in the comments. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more makeup, beauty, wellness videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone.